Archie Griffin's the only one that's won it twice, and
Yeah.
there's probably been a couple guys over the years where you could say they had the same type of season, if not better. I wish we would just kind of. I think voter fatigue sometimes steps in. Everyone wants a new face, but I wish, and I'm a voter. I wish we would all just kind of like a clean slate.
You partner with Wendy's ahead of the 2023 college football season. So, what can you tell us about this partnership?
Well, one, I love it.
Yeah.
I love Wendy's. I've had a great kind of relationship with Wendy's for years now with our partnership through Fox and the show that I'm on. But this year has been different for me with the campaign of kind of, doing the campaign with Caleb Williams, which has been awesome, who's a good friend of mine and obviously a Trojan. But um, Wendy's is, listen, Wendy's the official hamburger of college football. And
Mhm.
to be a part of that and to be a part of really the excitement of the kickoff this week. Obviously college football starts up this week is really cool. Um, they got two fire new items with the loaded nacho cheeseburger and queso fries, which I don't know if you've tried. I don't know, but you should go try because they are freaking awesome. And really, the campaign is just about getting people to come on over to Team Wendy's. This transfer portal has been a massive deal in college athletics and college
Yeah.
football in particular. So we really want to get people on board with Wendy's and their partnership with college football this season. So I am super fired up to be partnering with them this year, and I just can't wait, man. I can't wait for the season to start. It's right around the corner.
Absolutely right. And you mentioned that you work with Caleb Williams on this campaign. How was it working with him?
It was fun. It was fun to see him a little bit out of his element. I think
Yeah.
because I mean, he's done so many great things and with NIL and just the partnerships that he's done. But um, kind of just what I said with Wendy's and Wendy's being a part of college football, and then having Caleb, who I mean is the best player in college football, but also a Trojan and also someone I've gotten to know over the last year and a half. It was a lot of fun to work with him. He did a great job, and I'm excited for him this season.
And I got a chance to talk to Caleb a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him about his chances of winning the Heisman again and just making history when it comes to back-to-back Heisman winners. So I saw your list, and you had him as the favorite for obvious reasons. So ultimately, what do you think he has to do in order to win the Heisman again?
I mean, look, it's such an interesting question because
Yeah,
obviously Archie Griffin's the only one that's won it twice, and
yeah,
there's probably been a couple guys over the years where you could say they had the same type of season, if not better. I wish we would just kind of. I think voter fatigue sometimes steps in. And everyone wants a new face, but I wish, and I'm a voter. I wish we would all just kind of like a clean slate. Let's give this trophy to the best player in college football and who deserves it, whether it's Caleb or whoever. But I had him number one because one, he's the best player in college football,
yeah.
and two, I think he's going to have an even better season statistically. I think he's going to have a better season. As far as I think USC should and will get into the college football playoff. I think it would be a disappointment if they don't. I mean, they were close last year, and it's just another year of him developing and playing with Lincoln Riley, which is a really scary combination. So I think he's the favorite going into the season. As you know, these things could change week to week and things can happen, but he's as good as they come. I mean, that's for sure.
He really is. And I think because of that, and as you mentioned, USC comes to this season ranked as one of the 10 best teams in the country, which gives them an opportunity to reach the college football playoff. But is there a team that's not being talked about that could possibly make a run and be a part of that college football playoff conversation?
Yeah, there's a couple, and we always talk about this on our show. Like a sleeper team is usually like maybe outside the top 15, top 20. Like TCU last year was a great example.
Right.
Just they had an incredible run. There's a couple teams that are probably ranked pretty high, but still I think Penn State is a team that people need to keep an eye on. They always kind of end up 10-2, and they're always in the top 10 or 15 range, so they're not really coming out of nowhere, but they are stuck in a division with Michigan and Ohio State, and we know how good Michigan has become and how good they are this year, and Ohio State has been a staple in the playoff. What feels like damn near every year. Penn State is just someone to keep an eye on. The way they're built this year, Michigan has to go to Happy Valley. Ohio State has a few question marks, in my opinion, especially at the quarterback position. And then I would say Texas is interesting to me, and I know everyone's like, "Oh, Texas back," and then they always end up kind of, I guess, choking or just not living up to the expectation. But
Right.
I believe in Quinn Ewers. I think he's really talented if he stays healthy. I think he showed that last year in the games he played. And the Big 12 to me is wide open. Obviously, TCU made the run they did last year, but there was a lot of like I'd say luck, but I mean they had a lot of games for last year where they just found ways to win. I don't know if we expect the same thing from TC. It's hard to do that year in and year out. But the Big 12 is wide open, and Texas has the most talented roster, in my opinion, in the Big 12. So I keep an eye on Texas. I think Penn State, who's a perennial top 10, 15 team, but I think they can get over the hump this year potentially. And then I think Texas can make a run.
Now, with me being in Atlanta, the talk when it comes to college football is all about Georgia.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
back to back national champions. And now the discussion is, can they win a third consecutive national title, something that hasn't been done in close to 100 years? And they just named Carson Beck their new starting quarterback. So, and their schedule bodes well for them. So, do
The
you think?
schedule is the schedule is easy.
Yeah, it really is. Like it
It
really
is.
is. So, do you think they have a legitimate shot to reach the national championship and win it all again?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I think. Well, one, schedule is super important,
Yeah.
and I think I know they have Tennessee late in the year, which could be tough,
Yeah, it's like the
obviously.
next to last game. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you look at the first 7, 8, 9 games. I mean, it's like they'll be favored by double digits easily.
Yeah.
That's just the way it fell this year. So I think obviously schedule matters. And then look, Kirby Smart has done a freaking awesome job, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's become kind of what Alabama was, and even like what my teams at USC were. Like, you build that dynasty, and it becomes a factory. Coaching, you're recruiting, you're developing players. Players are playing in the league. Like all of the things that you kind of need to help build the championship environment. He's done it, man, and he's done an incredible job. And um, and like Stetson Bennett was fantastic in his story. Now Carson Beck comes in, who's got uber talent. I mean, uber talented player. Um, it's already it's in play. Everything is in place. So to answer your question, absolutely they will make a run. I think Bama is kind of getting slept on a little bit, even though they're ranked high. Like people are just like, oh, Bryce Young is gone. I think Bama is going to be right there. I
Yeah.
think LSU could be sort of a team that could dethrone Georgia this year in the SEC. But absolutely, I mean Georgia. I mean, I'm picking them potentially get in the playoff at least early in the season, just because he's got a factory over there, man, and Coach Smart has done a fantastic job. And they still got talent everywhere.
Absolutely. And one of the things about Georgia's schedule is originally they were supposed to play Oklahoma. That game was pulled because Oklahoma and Texas is moving to the SEC next year. 2024 is going to look a lot different. And we're seeing that definitely with the Pac-12 now with just 4 teams, because the majority of the
Yeah.
teams have either moved to the Big 10 or the Big 12. So when it comes to the Pac-12, do you think that conference possibly merges with another conference or tries to get more teams into the conference?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
question. I think everybody, the powers in the Pac-12 right now are trying to figure out. Obviously, a lot has happened, and the first domino was SC and UCLA announcing last year they were joining the Big Ten in 24, and then the way this is shaping, the next teams have kind of jumped ship to move on to the Big Ten or the Big 12, and that's left kind of those 4 teams remaining. Again, I have no idea. I think, as you said, there's kind of a few options. I think you can join an existing conference and kind of stay afloat that way, and or you can try and get other teams out there to join your conference and kind of stay afloat that way. I would say though that with the playoff expanding to 12, there's still some, like I still think to get teams to join this Pac-4 and make it a Pac-10 again or Pac-12. There's still a path there for football teams to get into a college football playoff. I think that's important because it generates a lot of money and revenue. But again, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, this is an unprecedented time in college football and college athletics, and it started with NIL a couple of years ago, and now it's really with college with conference realignment, and it's only the beginning. So I don't know the answer to that. As a old Pac-10, former Pac-10 player, it is, I mean, it's a bummer. I think, the purist in me, it's like, man, it's like the Pac-10 was great, Conference of Champions, and so many national championships in all sports have come out of that conference, and so many great athletes and great universities and all of those things. So to see it kind of get broken up, I think is, it bums you out. But at the end of the day, too, like you got to evolve, and it's evolving, and things are shifting. And it kind of was like NIL a couple of years ago, and NIL still trying to get figured out. But everyone was like, well, this and this and this. I'm like, guys, like this is what it's becoming. We have to get on board, or you're going to get left behind. And that's kind of what's happening. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. So, I don't know, though. We'll see. I don't think really anybody knows what's going to happen.
You're absolutely right. It should be an interesting 2024 and 23 college football season. But Matt, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Congratulations on everything and continued success to you.